Well, hello there. This is Pastor Said. Those of you that are brand new and early to the call, I want to give you a free bonus that's going to be available to you right away. If you go to leadership.greatmobilebiz.mobi, you'll be able to pick up a free copy of Innovative Leadership. It's a PDF copy, same exact words and everything. A PDF copy of the Leadership, Innovative Leadership book that I published not too long ago. Matter of fact, here's a copy of it right here. You can't see what it looks like on live and in person. Get a chance to get that. It's a leadership resource for leaders of leaders. And you'll be able to get that free of charge. Doesn't cost you a penny. Now, that'll be just a PDF copy of it, of course. And all we ask that you do is just give your name and email address. We'll be able to get that to you right away. So you'll get that immediately as soon as you decide to go ahead and sign up for it. But by the way, today we'll be broadcasting here on Google Hangout as well as on free conference call. So those of you that are listening on free conference call, of course, you can't see what I'm talking about. But there will be a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation tonight that you may want to pick up a copy of as you get a chance to go to leadership.greatmobilebiz.mobi. Now, keep in mind the archive only stays there for a short time. So if you'd like to find out more about it, just look up on your YouTube, just look up Said Reynolds, and you'll find it. Of course, if you look under Santa, you'll also find it there as well. But that's how you'll find out about Innovative Leadership with Pastor Said. Matter of fact, you can type that in as well, and that'll get you to the actual page, and you'll see a bunch of different archives that are there. So we're going to have fun tonight. We got another 3 minutes before we get started. So those of you that are listening to us tonight, looking forward to having a great time with you this evening. It's going to be a fun time. Looking forward to it. I'm going to do some changes with my little phone here over here. *5. Yes, sir. And we've got that done. So those, again, if you have a chance to pick up the archive of this, you'll be able to get the same thing because that offer is going to be available to people right away. I've got that on my page now. So if it does change, you know that we changed it. But the idea is to make it available to folks that want to get it. I want to get as many copies of that out as possible. And the least expensive way to do that, of course, is through PDF. So I made a PDF copy of it, and you can have a copy for yourself. And take a look at that thing. It'll be a lot of fun for you. Looking forward to tonight's session with you about how to get more out of your networking efforts. And we're going to talk about networking tonight. So as I take a swig of water, hold tight. We'll be getting started in about 2 minutes. Good stuff. I love water. Should be drinking on air, I guess, huh? But that's all right. And for those again that just joined us right now, we got about another 2 minutes to get started. If you'll go on your computer or your laptop, or you go to on your mobile device, go to leadership.greatmobilebiz.mobi. It's M-O-B-I at the end, .mobi, like mobile phone, and you'll be able to pick up a free copy of the Innovative Leadership. It's a PDF copy of our book that we've just recently published. I say we because me and the Holy Ghost had to do it together, okay? A lot of work involved. And we've got that available to you now. Instead of picking up the hard copy, you can get the hard copy too if you go to Amazon.com. But that's the hard copy there. If you want to go get that, that's fine too. And those of you that, again, are listening live on the phone, you can get on your computer and pick that up, or even pick it up on your phone if you choose to. It'd be a good idea to have it. Now, the minute to get started, we'll just go get right into it in just a minute. Hey, thanks for joining. Appreciate you being here. It's good to have you with us tonight. Fantastic. Looks like we'll have more people join us as we get moving along here. And of course, you're always able to pick up the archive of this. Immediately following at the same location at greatmobilebiz.mobi, that will be automatically an archived copy of today's show. So you have a chance to see that the training that we're doing today. Probably another 30 seconds or so before we get 6 o'clock on straight up. And as we count down, we get ready to go here. People will be excited about being on the call tonight. Listen, I have a fun time doing this. I really enjoy bringing training to you. It's actually 6 o'clock straight up. So with that being said, we're talking about, I'm Said Reynolds. I'm known as the entrepreneurial pastor. Some of you recognize me as a certified inspirational therapist. That's what that CIT stand for. And also I'm a cutting edge innovator. That's what I really do as well. Tonight we'll be having an actual PowerPoint presentation, so I'm going to be sharing my screen with you right now. And so if you bear with me just for a moment, we'll go right to the screen share, and we'll put you up, give you a chance to see exactly what we're talking about tonight. And we'll get right into it. And those of you that join us, just keep in mind that we've got a screen share up right now that you'll be able to see as well. But Innovative Leadership, what Pastor said tonight, we're going to be talking about the power of working your network. The power of working your network. Now, what does that really mean when you talk about working your network? There are many of us that are involved in network marketing, involved in various other kinds of businesses. But if you're going to work your network, there's some 7 principles I'll talk to you about this evening that will help you get a better understanding about what it means to really work your network effectively. Because every one of us have a network, whether it's one person or 50 people or 100 people or 1,000 people, we've got a network. Now, if we don't work that network or mine that network or pay attention to that network will do us no good. And so we want to talk about that tonight in reference to how we do it as an innovative leader, how I go about doing some of these things that I talk about. Because everything that I do talk about with you is something that I've tried myself, and sometimes I haven't done as well, but sometimes I do really good at it. Sometimes there are other people that do really good at it, and I just pass along knowledge to other people as well. Again, so we're tonight we're on a PowerPoint presentation on Google Hangout. And if you happen to be listening by phone, you can pick the Google Hangout location. And you can get the Google Hangout PowerPoint presentation by going to leadership.greatmobilebiz.mobi on your computer. And you can go there directly, and you can actually hear the presentation at the same time. Now, the very first one we'll talk about tonight is this. Know those who labor among you. First Thessalonians, this is not a Bible study, by the way, but First Thessalonians chapter 5 talks about this, about knowing those who labor among you. And often it's talking about those that are leaders among you, and being respectful of them, and making certain that you treat them effectively and right, because they pray for your souls, of course, and they want to have the best for you. But I would go a little bit further than that, because if you know people that labor among you, you know what they do. In our case, we're talking about networking, right? People in our network. Know people that labor among us that will have an idea about what their life ambition is, what their business is involved with, what they enjoy doing. Knowing them more than just knowing about them. I'm talking about knowing them, knowing their habits, knowing the things that they really take heed to or pay strict attention to, knowing the way that they go about work, their work ethic. Knowing all those kinds of things is important, but also knowing the people that they know. Know those folks that labor among you. So as you know those who labor among you, of course, you have a chance to really begin to work your network that way, because again, you know those folks. You're engaged with them. You're connected with them. And if we're going to be around folks, we may as well be connected with them. Makes sense, right? Makes sense to be connected with folks. Now, we're going to take about maybe 30 minutes or so tonight in talking about this, because again, I know I can do this whole thing about 15 minutes if I had to, but I'd like to do a training where you have a chance to identify the points that we make and make certain that those points make sense to you, so that you can actually begin to do it. Because many of us are in business for ourselves, or ministry, or just perhaps looking at having a job. Even if you have a job, or you're a school teacher, whatever your situation might be, you have a network. And your network is basically what your net worth might be as well. Because I'll say it again, your network is sometimes what your net worth might be. Because the people that you happen to know in your network are the people that connect you to people that can help you get to higher places in life. I've been able to be in situations in my life where my network has been really viable for me, so I can even begin to be promoted in various arenas that I've been involved in my lifetime. So knowing those who labor among you is a big deal. I would pay real close attention to that. We'll review these as we go along as well. The next one is real simple. It says this, to work with those who are working. Now, what does that mean? You can work with folks that are lazy, or you can work with folks that are doing something. The ones that are doing something are going somewhere. And I'll liken it to people, I'll liken it to relationships. This is for my friend Christine Gates out there, right? Okay. Relationships are always a situation where you want to work with folks that are going somewhere. You don't want to be hanging out with somebody that's not going anywhere. And so if you're going to work with somebody that's working, work with those folks that are working. You got some folks that are really motivated, encouraged. They're making things happen. Well, if they're making things happen, chances are they're making things happen not just by themselves, with other people as well. So with that understood, you got some folks that you're connected with that are making things go in a big way. So why not work with the folks that are working rather than working with the lazy? If you've been around anybody that's been lazy, anybody that's never really been able to get anything accomplished, big dreamers, always dreaming but never see anything come to pass, try networking with them. Have you ever got a referral from them? Have you ever got somebody that you've ever met that they know that it really speaks well of them? Chances are not so much, because they've never really accomplished very much. They may be working, but they're not working. And so working means you're accomplishing something. And we want to make certain that we want to work with those kind of folks that are accomplishing something. Now, here's the deal. We've got to be working ourselves, okay? We just can't just say, well, I'm going to find people that are working and not go to work ourselves. We've got to be working ourselves in order to get in their, to even get in their presence. Again, I relate back to relationships again. If you are working with somebody that's already working, they're seeking God, you're seeking God, you're working for the same purpose in Christ, to see people come to the knowledge of Jesus Christ. Well, your chances are you'll bump into each other on your way to the kingdom, on your way to see the King. And that's what a wonderful working relationship begins to develop to become. So work with those who are working. Number one is, again, know those who labor among you, not just the ones that are your hot shots, but all the ones, everybody that labors among you. Know them really well so you can get a chance to get things to work out for you effectively. We'll look at number three, and we're going to have 7 of these all together, guys, and we'll review these a little bit as well as we go through it. But seek to serve your network first. There are people in our networks right now that we have that are in our network, and we don't know much about them. But here's the deal. If we seek to serve first, we're the ones that benefit because the givers are always blessed. I'll say that again. The givers are always blessed. So if you're looking just to be served by yourself and not really pay attention to the people that are in your network, you may get blessed, but it's a better deal to be able to serve first. I'm going to be one of the first people to try to serve. Now, I don't always make this the right way all the time, but I really try my best to be the one that's always going to serve first, because I realize the principle of giving and receiving. Because as I give, I do receive. And if I'm going to work my network, see, the power of working my network is being able to serve or give to my network first. I give to the Santa community. Tonight, I'm giving away a resource to the community in the form of a PDF file. If you want to get a PDF of the Innovative Leadership, you can get a free copy of that by going to leadership.greatmobilebiz.mobi. That's MOBID, by the way. That's free. Didn't cost you a penny to get it. And you have a chance to get your free copy, same exact words and everything. It even has the inspirational therapy program inside of it as well. So seek to serve your network first. So what does that mean to you? If you've got a network that you're involved in and you're serving them first, they're going to think about you too. They're going to think about you as you've served them. Now, you ever think about people that serve you right now in your life, and you want to almost like, man, I want to do something for that person. I want to help them because they're so good to me. Just kind of a natural thing that we want to help somebody else out because they've been so good to us. But think about this: when you're good to more than just one person, get a little this, you're good to a lot of people. You know what happens? A lot of people are thinking about you. And when a lot of people are thinking about you in your network, you serve the net. You're not just serving the one person in your network. You're serving the whole network, or certain folks in the network at least. And when you do that, there's a lot more people thinking about you than you can realize. And when it comes back to you in the form of referrals, it comes back to you in the form of business. It comes back to you in the form of just goodness and kindness. Cash flow to your business, ministry, referrals to your ministry. That's a good thing because you've served first. Principle, seed time and harvest is working. It's at work right now. As long as the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest remaineth, right? So again, it's not a Bible study, but what we're talking about tonight are principles that really do work effectively. They're Bible-based, of course, but you're serving your network first and not just putting them on the back burner and say, well, you know what? I'm trying to find my way to get my network to work for me. Well, that's nice, but if you're not doing the service first, chances are you'll be a little bit selfish in that regard. So turn the thinking around a little bit and serve your network first. And you'll be high above everybody else that's involved in your network, by the way, as well. Number 4 is a real simple one here. It says this: to be clear of your expectations. Now you see in parentheses there it says reciprocal. I'm going to explain that to you in just a minute. But it says be clear of your expectations, because as you're in trying to work your network effectively, and when I say work your network, the power of working your network, that means you're actually spending time on purpose to get this network to respond, to get this network to be something that's going to be beneficial for you personally. And now, if you're clear with your expectations, talking to your network, again, I know those who labor among me. I've got those folks that I'm working with that are working already, and I'm seeking to serve first, but I'm also being very explanatory in reference to my expectations. I expect to have a reciprocal relationship. And so I let people know that, in a very kind way. I said, listen, if anything ever comes up, you see somebody that's in need of the services that I provide, listen, don't hesitate to sit in my direction. I'd be happy to help them. Real simple. Then nothing really pressured about that at all. That's a reciprocal kind of statement that I'm making there so that they know that I expect them to do what I've just done with them. And that's to reciprocate. Because again, I'm putting forth the time and the effort. But if you can, and here's the deal. It will still happen because of the law of seed time and harvest, the law of sowing and reaping, the law of giving and receiving. It will still happen when you know that you've given, you've done the work, you've sought to serve your network first. That's fantastic. But I tell you what happens, it accelerates the process when you make the expectations very clear. And it makes a whole lot more sense. You know this for yourself. When you make the expectations clear to people regarding what you want from them, there's no doubt about what you've said to them, because you have made it very clear to them. And so I make it very clear that I look to have a reciprocal relationship with you. I'm going to be giving to you. I'm going to be providing blessings for you. I'm going to be telling people about your business. I'm going to be telling people about your ministry. I'm going to be selling your book for you. I'm going to be out on the internet sharing content for you. However, I appreciate if you did the same for me when you have a chance. But real simple, nothing complicated. So when you do that, what you've done is you set up a reciprocal relationship that the individuals that you're working with know exactly what to do. Now, here's the good deal. Most people don't do that. Most people don't even get involved in networking any way, form, or fashion. Most folks just kind of wing it in life. But see, I work a network of people. People say, you do so many different things. How do you get it all done? My goodness, I have a huge network. That's why. I've got a network of folks that do a lot of stuff on my behalf, and it looks like I'm doing it, but I'm not. A lot of folks do a lot of stuff on my behalf because I've served them, of course. I bless them. I work with those that are working already, and then I know those who labor among me. I know what they can do. I know what they can accomplish. But again, when my expectations of them is that when I'm serving them, is that they would understand that it's a reciprocal relationship, and that my expectations that they would send blessing my way as well. And again, it may be just in the form of a referral, in the form of business, just letting people know that I even exist, sharing a piece of content that I put out or a video I put out. I'd ask you even tonight, share this video. And then what would your expectation be from me? So I'm making it very clear that I'd like to have you share this video. And if you ask me to say, Pastor said, what can you do for me? Well, ask me, and I'll let you know if I can do it or not. Okay. So, and that's when people have to be really bold and say, well, I've shared your video. Could you share mine? Real simple. I can do that. Not a problem, as long as it's something that's good and nice. Okay. Don't come with some trash or something like that. But the idea again is to share like value, like faith. And if you got something of value, we certainly want to share it for you. We certainly want to be a blessing to each other, because the more I give, the more I receive. I know the principle well. I know it really well. So the more I give, the more I receive. The next one is this: ask for help from those you know have the means and the ability. And I'd add the ability, because sometimes we're asking the wrong people. You ever ask the wrong people over and over again to help you do something? And they say, you know what? I'd love to help you, but I just can't right now. I'd love to help you, but I just can't right now. Sometimes they have the means, and sometimes they don't have, but they don't have the ability. Because here's the part: the reality is this: that sometimes I have the means to do certain things, but I don't always have the ability to, because the means are tied up in other things. Had a guy ask me for $7,000 the other day, right? $7,000, and I had the means to give him $7,000, but not today, because I'm not in position to do that right this very moment, right? Because I don't have the ability right this very moment. Wanting to and desiring to, money's put away somewhere else, and just can't untie that kind of money just in the nick of time for his life situation. So, but ask for help from those who have the means and the ability. So you have to know a little bit more about those people, right? So that's knowing those who labor among you. Go back to the very first one. You know the folks who labor among you, and therefore you can begin to know what their means are, what they have available to themselves as a person, and also what their ability is, just in conversation sometimes. And as you get to a place where you know their means and their ability, if you need help in the area of your business, it's not something that you're going to be trying to take advantage of them. You really just want to really want to get some assistance because you have legitimate need for assistance. And if you're working with the right folks, you can get the help you're looking for. Now, not all the time will people say yes. So please understand that. That's why we network with more than just one person. We network with several people. And, there's a time where I had a chance to assist a family that was having some difficulty. And I knew my means, I knew my ability, but I also knew the means and ability of my friends and my network that would assist in this regard. And so we're able to raise a lot of money for a cause that was really a blessing to a person and their family, because I knew the means, I knew the ability of myself, but I also knew the means and ability of my friends, not my network. And my network came to the rescue of a person. Fantastic stuff. But again, if you don't know the means and the ability, You find yourself going against the grain, and it really hurts that to go against the grain. Don't try it. It doesn't work too well. It doesn't work too well. Okay, it doesn't work too well at all. If we go to the next one real quickly here, looking at this one, it says train your network to network on your behalf. Now, that's a fun thing, but here's how it works. You train your network to network on your behalf by networking on their behalf. You see that? There's that giving thing happening again. Because again, we can train them to network on our behalf, and it becomes a very kind of a selfish motivation right off the bat. But if it's something that we are going to network on their behalf, how I choose people to network on their behalf is I see them already doing it. I see them already working. I have a radio program that I have, and I'm always networking on behalf of the folks that I do my radio program for, because I know what they're already doing. They're making a positive impact on the internet. They're making a positive impact in their business, their ministry. They're making a positive impact all over social media, offline, various places. And because I've seen it, I begin to network on their behalf and say, you know what? Here's the person I want to get connected with. Now, you see what happens when you begin to connect with folks that are already doing things, they're busy already, and you start networking on their behalf. They begin to wonder, who are you? Why are you even doing this? Because most people don't do it, right? I don't even need permission from somebody to network on their behalf, because I see them already busy. I see them actively engaged in things. I see them hustling and making things go, making things happen. But I also see that not a lot of people help them. And so the appreciation that they have is somebody even noticed them. Somebody even cared enough to say, oh my goodness, this poor person's out here just working their tail off, and they're working really hard, but nobody even seems to even care about them. Well, if somebody comes along like yourself and you begin to network on their behalf, I mean networking meaning that you're just passing out their card, you're getting their name on the internet, you're sharing their content, and then every once in a while you drop a little note, hey, listen, I just want to let you know I'm sharing your content for you because I think you've got a wonderful cause. And just leave it alone. Put it on their personal page if you can. If they allow you to put it on their personal page or their Twitter account or even on Instagram somewhere, put it there. Believe me, they will take notice. Don't send them a private message just yet because you don't know them yet. But because you don't know them yet, but you're actually networking on their behalf, there are a lot of people making comments on their page. But what makes you stand out is that you're doing something that other people aren't doing. And you're doing it far more than anybody else is doing it as well. Now, you come across some people that are networkers themselves, they'll be doing this kind of stuff too. But because networking and giving and these principles, that it seems like they would be, everybody in the world would understand them and do them, right? Well, not everybody does it. Because not everybody, listen, people are, I'll say this out loud to you, people are lazy. It's just about us four and no more. I don't want to do anything more than I have to do for my own family. This is about my business, my ministry, my, and it's just selfish. But when we begin to network on other people's behalf, we are training them that it's okay to network for us on our behalf too. Now, see, here again, keep in mind, if you're doing that for not just one person, but several people, you've got several people now beginning to network on your behalf. And what does that do for you? You're one person doing your job, one person out there networking, one person out there spreading the love and joy about what you do as far as the business or ministry is concerned. But then it's these multiple people begin to network on your behalf in their own circles that are beyond where you happen to be. Your name gets spread out a little bit more. Your message, your cause gets spread out a little bit more. Well, how you suppose that happens with the Santa community? Santa community has been nothing but a blessing to me because I've just started the process and just begin to network among the folks in the Santa community. And now I've got a book that's out, and I've got this training that I'm doing now, just sharing concepts that I work in my own life, and I have been doing for many, many years. And it's been really just a remarkable thing. I can't deny what God does. I can't deny the miracles that God brings in my life, the people that He puts in my life. And I mean, I'm just doing my work, and all of a sudden God brings the people across my pathway that mean something to me for the rest of my life. I mean, it's amazing, absolutely amazing to watch how God operates. I mean, you might meet somebody. Listen, you might meet your life mate. You may meet your life mate networking, just doing what God told you to do. So I would encourage you, if you're looking for a mate, this is one way to do it. Okay, okay, good deal. Listen, here's the last one, guys. Be intentional every day. That sounds so simple, but it's so easy to do, but easy not to do. You heard that, I think it was Jeff. What's Jeff's last name? I forget his name. Jeff, I don't want to say his last, I forget his last name, but a guy named Jeff. Jeff Olson. Jeff Olson. Here we go. Jeff Olson talks about that. It's easy to do, but easy not to do. And being intentional is something we have to do every day. I mean, get up every day with the intention of helping somebody else, with the intention of knowing those who labor among you, with the intention of working with those who are working, not lazy folks, with the intention of seeking to serve your network first, with the intention of being clear about your expectations, I mean, in reciprocal relationships, with the intention of asking for help if you need to that particular day, with the intention of having your network being trained by you because you're serving them. You're actually networking on their behalf. Be intentional. Whatever it is, as far as your plans are concerned during the course of the evening, like even tonight, I'll put together some plans tonight for tomorrow, and I'll get myself ready for Thursday. And Thursday comes, I'm not having to lollygag around, and pretty much all the plans that I've already made are pretty much in line already. But I'll put together a few more different things that'll be lined up with the plans that I have for tomorrow, and I'll go to work, and I'll be ready to go because I'm intentional about it. Now, do I do it every day? I try my best every day, guys. I do. I really do. But sometimes I miss it. And I would encourage you not to beat yourself up so much because I've done enough beating up of myself to go along for everybody, okay? I've done that over the years, just beat myself up because I wasn't intentional enough about something. I was, oh, boy, you know. And I'm just, you know, I think you know what I'm talking about. But the idea here is really being intentional every day. And if you get to that place where you do it every day, you have now put yourself in a position where you've now taken advantage of the power of working your own network. And you're working your own network on purpose. You're not alone in the situation anymore. You're not just hanging out by yourself. If it's a job and you're trying to get a better job, work your network. If it's a ministry and you're trying to get your ministry recognized because you do something that's a little bit different and unique, work your network. Because we're just like at 6 degrees of separation. There are people that are in our network right now that we don't even know other people that we need to know. I'll try to say that again, but you may want to get the recording of this, okay? But there are people in our network that know people that we need to know that we don't know yet. And so when that happens, I tell you, just speaking up, just saying something about what we're looking for, being in a situation where we're making ourselves clear of expectations, we can be very clear right there and say, I'm looking for a person that's in this category. Do you know anybody? Or do you know anybody that may know somebody? I get that question asked all the time. I don't always know everybody, but what I do know is I know the people. And I just pass on the same questions. I say, listen, let me check with my network and I'll find out, and I use those exact words. I said, let me check with my network and I'll find out if there's somebody in my network that does know. I had a person recently ask me if I want to, I didn't go as far as I should have, and I probably failed the situation, but let me tell you what happened. Asked me if I knew anybody that needed a car. Okay, and she's giving away a car, but she wanted to give a car to our church, and they wanted to give it's going to be for our church. To give it to the church, church gives it to somebody in our church community, and I was going to find somebody in the church community to give the car to. Didn't find anybody in our church community, but she only wanted to give it to our church. But if she wanted to do beyond that, I may have been able to find somebody for her, but it was only for our church. So I kind of didn't push too hard because if she wanted to just give it to our church, get tax deductible donation, and have that car be given away to somebody in our congregation. Didn't have anybody in our congregation that needed a car right away. Not people that have insurance at least or can afford insurance. Okay, but that was a networking opportunity right there that I could have stretched that a little bit farther down the road, but I chose to just kind of go with her wish, her desire, rather than just kind of push it. Again, when we're intentional, by the way, when we're intentional every day, we're not pushing people. We're pushing ourselves, but we're not pushing other people. We're not intentionally going to bombard people or to hurt them or cause harm or shame to come to them because they're not doing what we want them to do. That's not what we're doing. We're just being intentional about the fact that we're working our network, and we know there's power when we work our network. There's so many people today that are trying to do things by themselves. I know this deal because I've been the Lone Ranger for a long time. Well, not till early my sales career. I was a Lone Ranger. I was the greatest salesman in the world. I was trained by the best. I knew how to close everything. I'd go in and get the big dog sales. I'd make things happen, man. I was this big guy, right? And realized that if I had to do something by myself every day, I would die. If I didn't work with referrals, I wasn't working smart. If I wasn't working with other people in my network, I wasn't working smart. When I figured it out finally, I realized that my network was always out there looking for stuff for me, but I didn't even know it because I never let them know that I was looking. Revelation, guys, write that down, because here's where you are right now in your life. If you're stuck right now in life, you're stuck, and really stuck. You need to look into your network, find out intentionally, find out who knows who that can help you get to where you want to get to. Because somebody knows somebody that can help you get to where you want to get to. And keep this in mind, you know somebody that can help somebody else get to where they want to get to as well. So don't be afraid to be used as a person that's in the network to help somebody else. That's why I said earlier regarding training your network to network on your behalf, you begin to do the networking on their behalf first, because you get accustomed to actually doing this stuff on a intentional level. And the more intentional you get about this, I'm telling you, it pays dividends. It really does pay dividends. I hope you're hearing what I'm saying today, because this is a free free information time I'm giving you right now, but it's so valuable, extremely valuable, that the power of working your network is not something that we can take for granted. Now, we can if we want to, but if you really take heed or pay strict attention to what I'm talking about here, you'll see that these 7 principles, especially the last one talking about being intentional every day, can change your life around. I mean, realistically, change your life around. There are people that have come to know me recently in my life, and that have been blessed because they, not because of me so much, because they know people in my network now. They know people that I've had a chance to introduce them to. I know people in their network now too that I've been introduced to. I've been blessed. So it works both ways. It doesn't just work with me always being blessed all the time, but other people get blessed as a result of them knowing me too, in the network that I have. It's a beautiful thing to see two people come together, two individuals come together, and you'll see them have what they don't think they have, and that's a network. One person comes together, has their own network. Another person comes with the other person comes together. Also, they have their own network. When they begin to talk and collaborate and begin to think outside the box, they begin to identify that, wow, we can help each other do really, really well if we'll open up and share our network experiences and network associates. See how that works? Now, that's just with two people, because when you move beyond the two people, you move now to the people that are in the network, the various networks that people work with, and you begin to develop relationships and friendships there. And you now begin to have a powerful network, because you've not just moved from one person, you've moved inside their network. I want you to hear this. When you move inside somebody's network, let's say I'm your partner, I'm your friend, you get to know me, and then you get to know my friend Joe. Joe's got a huge network, right? But you get to know Joe, you get to know people in his network that I don't even know. And you're actually blessed in another way, because you got Joe's blessing on your relationship with him. And then you get to meet people that Joe's network friends know. And then you get to meet people that Joe's friends know. If you work this thing right, you'll find yourself getting in that 6 degrees of separation. You'll find yourself getting into networks and networks and networks, because you have a need for it and because you've been intentional about it. Now, I do a longer training on this. I'm not going to take about 30 minutes tonight. I just want to get some information out to you. We're just about done, 6:29 right now. I'm going to run, okay, just a second here. But I wanted just to get that information out to you today, so you'll be able to understand for yourself that this stuff is really real. You can actually begin to work it for yourself and see yourself do really well. It doesn't take but a minute to get the thing to work for you. Just put yourself in a position where you want to do it. You say, I want to do this myself. I want to make sure it works. Hey guys, Sid Reynolds here, the Entrepreneurial Pastor. Excited that you're taking the time to join me tonight. Again, if you have a chance to go to leadership.greatmobilebiz.mobi, maybe you're there right now, you can get the free resource, which will be the Innovative Leadership PDF. That's going to be a leadership resource for leaders of leaders. You get a free copy of that. It's just like the book that I wrote. Matter of fact, it's the same exact content that you see in this book right here. I'm getting used to this camera stuff here, guys. Okay, all right. It's the same exact content as you see in the book, but it's in a PDF format. So I'm able to give that away to you free of charge tonight. I'm the cutting edge innovator, guys, and that CIT stands for Certified Inspirational Therapist, and that's what we even have a portion of that in the 52-week inspirational therapy program inside the book. So you have a chance to get that as well. It is now 6:30, so God bless you. We'll see you around next time on the Innovative Leadership with Pastor Sid, and I'll get back with you next time around. We'll see you. Have a great day, and I'll see you.